Everybody in the galaxy, welcome back to planet Earth. It's Tape Tuesday, my friends. How we doing? What you're hearing in the background today is going to be Ease, episode 6. We did that last week. It was a lot of fun. Got a link in the description to that, of course. But this is a little bit different than what you heard last week because I've reversed it and pitched it up. So that's pretty cool, I think. Another thing you're hearing in the background that you did not hear in the Ease show, got a little bit of a tape echo situation going on here. I am playing a tape loop in the Tascam 414, and this track number 4 is running. Ooh, gotta be careful with the tape echo. I'm running a bit of a tape echo here on the Sony TCM 500 EV. That's this machine. And you might wonder why it's not over here with the tape gear. It was, but let me show you. These analog machines can get a little bit strange sometimes. That's what we love about them, but sometimes that's also what we hate about them. Listen to this interference going on, guys. Whoa, can you hear all that crazy noise? I'm gonna have to figure out what that noise is. It might be, it might just be because I have 3 video mixers and an analog video color processor. So that's where this machine was gonna live. But as you can see, maybe, I have a tape loop inside here, backwards, running the echo. And I got it tuned just the way I like it. It's a finicky machine, I'll have to warn you. As soon as you hit record, this one seems to do, it turns on this red light here, PEA, if anyone knows what that is. It's not just the EA, which is me, hey. It's PEA. I have no idea what that means. Haven't looked it up yet. But this red light turns on this machine, and then it goes for a while. It's kind of annoying. So I'm just leaving it running for now. But of course, it's Tape Tuesday, my friends. How we doing? We got Han in the chat, of course. Welcome back, Han. It's so good to see ya. We got Claire in the chat from all the way across the oceans in the jungle. You got any tigers in that jungle? I know you got a bear there. We got Kenneth in the chat. What's the frequency, Kenneth? And of course, we got a master tiger in the chat. So you might not have one in the jungle, Claire, but we got one in the chat room right there. It's Master Tiger. Okay. How we all feeling? Give me some love in the chat. Let's see what you guys are saying. We got Kenneth saying, hello from Denmark. Hello from the States. Ooh. I'm digging these sounds. Maybe we can go for a real kind of analog moody vibe today. It's all about the vibe. I was recently in Las Vegas hanging out with my best friend from high school. I think he was getting a little bit... He's getting a little bit sick of how many times I was saying vibe. It's a vibe. But I also think that he has someone close to him that is from California, and they really like to say vibe out there because California is such a vibe, isn't it? Sometimes, most of the time. Depends on where you're at, I guess. Love California. Anyways, let's see. We got Master Tiger, Claire, Han, and Kenneth. We're missing a couple usual suspects. I imagine they will show up in due time. Let's make a tape loop today, but I kind of wanted to, I don't know, I wanted to find a good loop here that we could use to feed our echo. Oh yeah, it's getting a little crazy. So you can, the tape echo can run away with itself. If you're wondering here, I have one of the send and return, the second send and return, it's coming out the Tascam and it's going in here into the microphone input of this tape machine. And then the earphone, I guess this is all probably mono, it's coming out here and going straight into track 4. So yeah, I got this set for mic line on track 4. And I'm feeding it back. It's a feedback loop because, you know, I certainly believe that the universe is a feedback loop, a fractal feedback loop. Or maybe that's how you get fractals anyway. You feed them back on top of themselves. It's crazy. It is certainly crazy being a part of this universe. But anyways, I think maybe we should try to get going here. But before we do, I want to explain the title of this episode just a little bit. I called it Oodles. It's the Oodles tape echo. And for those of you who know about the Roland Space Echo, we love Roland on this channel. The Space Echo, you can open up the top of it and it'll show you all of the tape in there. It's an old tape echo from the 80s. And it did it's kind of oodles of noodles tape inside. And on the last episode of Tape Tuesday, I made my very first oodles of noodles tape loop. I've been talking about it since the beginning of Tape Tuesday. And it was an undeniable success on my first attempt. And it kind of just oodles around in there and noodles around in there. You can see I got some heavy-duty plastic guiding it onto a rubberized reel, and then it feeds in here and just does whatever it wants until it's called to get. It's amazing. I freaking love cassette tapes. I love tape. I don't have reel-to-reel. I would like to get one. But anyways, I think we're going to fire in and try to make another Oodles of Noodles tape loop. The reason why these are nice is because you can have a lot of tape in there. I know our one of our usual suspects in the chat, Gonzin. We're missing Gonzin at the moment, but that's all right. Gonzin likes to call it a log jam when the tape gets eaten up in there, and so that's what I call it, of course. But we have been in the community Discord trying to figure out the best way to make these. I think I have a decent way, but as you can see, the tape is only allowed to oodle around in here. I call this piece of plastic right here, I call it Adam's rib. And you might guess why. Maybe not. I don't know. I'm not going to say it. No, I'm going to say it. But then, so I... Too many inside jokes. So my first tape loop, yeah, I named Lilith. Second one, I named Eve. They're beauties. And then the third one, which I'm not sure if I've recorded anything onto yet, we're going to use that as our backup Oodles of Noodles tape loop today. I think I'm going to call that one Venus. And the rest of them from here on out might just be the daughters of Venus. They're going to be doves. You gotta love a dove or two. Okay. Especially because they mean peace. So I got these two, and I've played them on the last Ease show. There we go. And hey, Hen, you may have missed the last Ease show. I'm not sure. But we played your tape. We played Hen's tape at the end just for you. Because we've been missing you, Hen. So it's good to see you back here today. So there it is in reverse. Can you hear it in the background? Ooh, that's Hen's tape. I love that tape. I keep it in a case for you, Hen. For one day when I meet you, I'll give it to you. It's your tape. I'm just borrowing it. Let's all take a deep breath. I know I need one. Been tempted to do some kind of meditation here. The whole thing is a bit of a cosmic process, I think, when you're being creative. Let's hear this tape echo just a little bit more. So to get back on topic here, the Roland Space Echo, it has quite a lot of tape in there, and it oodles all up like noodles inside of there. And that's really good. I'm not sure if you can really hear the splice. You know, it was a professionally created tape loop and splice, and they were very good with tape back in the 70s and 80s. We just do it by hand here with some splicing tape. And oftentimes you hear the splice. So I'm not sure if you can hear the splice on this Echo tape loop, but that would be one of the reasons to use a nice long oodles of noodles cassette tape loop in a tape echo machine. You do always, I guess, run the risk of getting a log jam. I have only had one log jam, and I've only made 3 of these loops. So we're trying to perfect the process. We're going to give it attempt number 4 today. Anyways, let's see if we can hear this splice here on the loop, because that might be interesting. I flipped this tape around. It's doing reverse tank tread. It's going backwards in there. Because I kind of blew it out earlier testing. So the other side has a really loud splice that will not erase when it goes over the erase head. But I'm gonna feed you back to yourself here a little bit. Let's see. Can you hear it? I'll give it a little bit more tape loop. I'll show you what I'm doing. So that crack sound, that is the tape feeding back onto itself, and that's happening here because it's track 4, remember? And it can get really, really nasty, really, really fast. It'll run away with itself, like any echo, really. One thing I don't like about this machine here, the Sony TCM 500 EV, is... well, see, it has a speed control here, but the problem is that it's not working while you're recording, which is strange, I think. Maybe it's just to compensate for a low battery. I don't know. We could kind of talk about this gear all day or all year, which, of course, I've been doing on my Tape Tuesday show. Okay, we got Kiara in the chat, of course. How you doing, Kiara? She's saying rock and roll. Let's rock it. Okay, yeah, you can tell I'm getting distracted, and I'm procrastinating a little bit because making an oodles of noodles cassette tape loop isn't exactly for the faint of heart. So yeah, I might be procrastinating a little bit. I shouldn't do that. I shouldn't do that on live television. But what I'll do, I'm going to shut this down. I'm going to shut this all off here. But I'll give you a nice echo flare before we do. It's that nice crunchy tape echo. There you go. And that's what you were hearing before. Let's hear what was on track 4. Oh, of course, track 4 was the good one. Anyways, I've got to get my Tascam turned off and focus. Something about, I don't know. You guys know how it is. Kind of missing that ease feeling. And if you're new to us, that's ease. Electric Archaic Soundscape Expeditions. That's my show where I DJ these freaky cassettes. And we try to make some kind of ambient soundscape, sleepscape. I like to transport you to a place that's never existed before. Gotta open the door. Let's get making our ceremonial. I guess you could call it ceremonial. It's a ritual. We do it every Tape Tuesday. We're gonna make an oodles of noodles tape loop, just like that. But it'll be brand new. Can't exactly see the noodles from that angle. They just kind of disappear. Anyways, we've got our sacrificial tape. We got it. And we got all the gear on the table here. This is another cool thing. This is an endless loop cassette. I was trying to test that out earlier. Maybe that's why I'm feeling a little bit distracted here. Start kicking off this show because I had had a lot of problems right before the show, as sometimes is the case. But I got it all figured out right in time, so you wouldn't have known unless I told you. But, you know, I love you guys. So I'm going to let you in on the inside. Oh, man. It's too many thoughts. Not enough. I don't know what I'm trying to say, you guys. It's this is the 24th episode of Tape Tuesday. We got our loop tape here. When I first started the series of Tape Tuesday, this is my Fuji Type 2 high bias cassette tape. And it used to be in this block of Legos, and I've just decided now that this is the new way I'm going to do it. I'm going to keep it in its case, which is kind of nice. And I just stand it up like that. And then I can dispense the tape and close it up. Oh, there's the tape. Just hanging out. Just hanging out. Okay. Well, I hope y'all had a good weekend. We got the splicing block. We will try to use the splicing block today. I know that on the last episode of Tape Tuesday, we did not. Some of the things you want. You do want one of these crystal Bic pens. It helps you rewind the tape. They come rewound, so I didn't really need it, but I like to make sure it's nice and tight. It's a good thing. All right, screwdriver time. Let's do it. Yeah, it's interesting to think about how I'll try to make it be the last time I say it for my friend Garrett McLean. What I was saying is it's interesting how the vibes change. I didn't know I would need to police myself on saying that word, but I don't know, I guess Las Vegas, they don't vibe like that. Okay. So you don't want to lose your screws. And of course, when you're making a cassette tape loop, you want to use a cassette tape that has screws. It is possible to do it with a pre-recorded one, but you got to shuck it like an oyster. And I like to say that a lot. And just keep your screws right there. And be careful when you're opening up the cassette. All right? These little jobberish things can get lost pretty easy. And then you got the slip mat. I've been keeping these to the side. There was a bit of a time there when I was keeping the slip mat in the tape loop, but I was using white cassette tape shells at that point in time. So you couldn't really see it. But since I got these nice clear ones, I'm not using the slip mats because they block all the fun. Okay, so on this reel, there's usually something. I'm trying not to lose it. It's a little, on these ones in particular, it's a little pin. It's another one of my favorite words. Hop the pin, my friend. See that? And these have gone back in here easily without the tape leader. Some tapes have these ones that look a little bit like a block, kind of like not exactly a Lego because it's all curved. Anyways, we got Gonzin in the chat. Welcome back, Gonzin. I knew you would make it, my man, my friend. Okay. So the way I do it, I got my cassette tape splicing tape. I get this from spliceit.com. I'm not sponsored by them or anyone, but maybe one day Roland will sponsor me. It'll be the day when they reissue the TB303. They'll do it just to shut me up, probably. I talk about it way too much. But if you like the 303, check out my show, Monosynth Monday. All right, we're starting our little tape bug over here on the video. It's always hanging off the video mixer. And check this out. You want to see some tape bugs? I'll show you. Whoa, this is an ease tape bug. Sometimes on Tape Tuesday, I turn it into an actual bug. Preferably maybe like a dragonfly. Here's another one. These are the tape bugs that were created for Ease episode 6. And now they've combined. They've formed Voltron. Oh my gosh. It does look like a bug, right? Oh no. Oh no, Joe, no. Okay. Enough jokes. There can never be enough jokes. Makes me wonder. When I was a kid, I was obsessed with Batman, as many kids were, especially back then in the late 80s, early 90s. Back then, I would have definitely been Batman, but now these days, I wonder if I'm more Batman or more Joker. I guess cast your votes in the chat. Ooh, I guess Electric Archaic leans a little bit heavy on the green and the purple. And the black, though, too. Gosh, I mean, it kind of seems like everything I wear is either black, purple, or green. Okay, so I taped that up with the splicing tape, and it's a little loose, but I don't really care that much because I'll just save that for the future, I suppose. I don't like to waste tape. It's another one of these reasons why I make just what I call the standard style tank tread tape loop, because when you save in the tape, you only get one reel to work with, and the tank tread works very nice like that. I'll just show you what that tank tread is. This is a loose tank tread. As you can see, it kind of like in a bobcat or something. It's building something. It's building the new Earth. It's a tank of construction, of course. All right, here we go. This is where it gets a little bit tricky when you're doing the oodles. Oodles and oodles and oodles of noodles tape loop. I'm going to keep these tools. These are tweezers. Keep these over to the side with the screwdriver. I don't really need them, but you never know. I keep everything in this box here. This is, you got to get one of these. These are really nice. It's like a brush for dusting things off. I love it. I love it. And then, of course, a Sharpie so that you can keep your mind sharp. Keep it at ease as well. Yeah, we got Gonzin in the chat saying it's the medieval loop. It is indeed the medieval loop. And I'm not sure if that was recorded on my first Oodles of Noodles tape, but I'll probably be playing these at some point in time for you guys. Ooh, they kind of look like tigers, don't they? Are you still here, Master Tiger? I bet Master Tiger is indeed still here. Okay, so here's something, a couple of things I guess have changed. Not much from the first one. Where's that Lilith loop? The first one I made, that's Eve right there. So that would be the second Oodles of Noodles tape loop I made, and I think this one's Lilith. This is this would be the medieval tape loop. But I will tell you, Gonzin, when I was making Eve and Venus, which I'm calling all these beauties. Maybe you can guess why. Anyways, I had a serious logjam with Lilith, and I'm not sure if it was because I was doing it with the crystal Bic pen, but you can see that the tape comes over here on the rubberized reel and is pushed down by, I guess, I've been calling this a teardrop. Maybe this will be like the gassed tear for you Minecraft players, because it takes, 8 gassed tears and a bone to make a baby gassed, which is great because I like to call this piece of plastic Adam's rib. And it's nice because you only need 2 pieces of plastic, and this will be my design, I guess. It's the Electric Archaic way. But most of these Oodles tape loops have something that's peeling the tape off. That would be Adam's rib in my case. You can see that? It's peeling the tape off of the reel, which has a little black rubber band on it. And the teardrop is what's putting the tension on the tape so that it kind of sticks and goes through, so you don't have any log jams anywhere, because we don't want our cassette tapes in 2025 giving cassette tape a bad reputation like it already has. I swear, every time I mention working with cassette tapes, there's someone out there that says, well, don't you get eaten up? The tapes, yeah, I've never really had tapes being eaten up too much. But I guess my machines aren't exactly on the fritz. And I say not exactly because one of my Tascams does seem like it is on the fritz, although Gonzin's going to be laughing at me for this one. Learning what we learned earlier on about the Sony TCM 3-head tape machine being here, all of the interference it was picking up from, I guess, everything that's surrounding it. Maybe my other Tascam is not on the fritz. It's just being bathed with interference from all the machines I got over here, Richard. Anyways, let's take a little bit of a break here. I think we got Kenneth in the chat with the quote of the day. Let's check this out. It's not a quote of the day from Kenneth. Kenneth is saying, anyways, I just looked on eBay, sealed Michael Jackson Thriller audio cassette, 1982, US dollars, $99.99. That's pretty cool, actually. I know there are some extremely rare vinyls out there, especially Beatles ones. You know the one. I don't know who did that photo shoot, but if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. I think there's like 3 different versions of that Beatles vinyl, where the original one, where they just are in the butcher shop. Oh gosh, what the hell is wrong with Hollywood? I mean, people. Anyways, and then there's one where they kind of sealed a new graphic on top of the old Beatles graphic, and then there's the third one is like a peel off. So there's like 3 different stages, and they all take a different value, I guess. But that's cool. Michael Jackson sealed cassette. Love it. How is everyone else doing in the chat? Gonzin saying, I need more tension on me take-up reel. Yeah, the take-up reel is the one that has the teardrop on it. Tension, I guess, right? Maybe he's talking about... I'm not sure. But we've been experimenting quite a lot. And it's weird, because I did nail it on my first try. I had been thinking about it for years, really. I thought it was going to be way easier than it was, but it's actually not that difficult. So we're going to try today to have a happy Oodles of Noodles cassette tape loop once again, my friends. And I'll show you how you do it. So we got our cassette tape opened up here. We haven't lost any screws, although some of them, they're not even loose. They're just... they're out, but they're not lost. When you lose your screws, then you got to call your marbles to help you find them. So this is new. On the last Oodles of Noodles tape loop, I used a plastic that was like this. You can see it's kind of like a... It's a... Well, I got this at the craft store, and it's a blank stencil template. And this is nice, and I'm hoping it'll be nice, because it's a lot thinner than the plastic I used. I had a strip of it here. Let's see. This was a placemat, and it's fairly thick, and it does work okay. But the trick is when you're peeling off the tape from the reel, that's the biggest problem right there, because when you put the rubber band on the reel, which we shouldn't forget to do, I have a whole bunch of them, different sizes. When it's peeling it off, you don't want to encourage it at all to do a log jam or get sucked in back through there, because once it does, it'll eat up all that tape and then it stops. And if you're playing a cassette tape show like I often do, that's not too cool. It's not too cool. Anyways, I did pick up these too, because I've been on a serious quest to figure out the best materials and most easily accessible materials to make one of these endless Oodles of Noodles Space Echo types of cassette tape loops. And now this is it's like a twist tie, maybe for a mask. They were advertising these. I'm not sure if you can see in there. There's 2 bendable metal bars in here, and the rest is plastic. I originally bought these trying to find the thin plastic, and I was just going to cut out those 2 metal bars. They're like wires in there, bendable wires, and I'll show you what I mean. So I was originally going to cut those off and just use the plastic that's in between, But it's a little bit smaller than I thought. And then I was also thinking, well, geez, I might as well just use this with the metal, because then you can, you know, make it the exact shape that you want it to be. I haven't tried this yet. I don't know, you know, it was just a few bucks on Amazon, but we'll have to try that at some point. I kind of feeling like the plastic is the way to go. Now, you're going to have to cut some of this plastic out, and you do want it to be the same width as the reel there. You don't really want it to be thinner or thicker. If it's too thick, you won't be able to close your cassette case on top of it. And if it's too thin, the tape, you know, could do some weird stuff. It seems like the cassette tape wants to log jam in there. It's like water. It's taking the path of least resistance. So you need to give it a little bit of assistance to get it to go where it needs to be. What do you think? Should I just eyeball it? You know, I got rulers and all the right things here, but sometimes it's fun to just fire in, my friends. Let's see if I'm good at this at all. I had some practice. I'm just eyeballing it with one eye open, and I can already tell I'm tapering it, which is not cool, man. It's not cool. Let's see if we can get it back on track here. There we go. I just got one eye open, and I'm doing it about... I'm just eyeballing it, you guys. Sometimes perfection, yeah, I'm getting a little bit thin, though. And that is a very thin plastic indeed. The other stuff is much thicker. It's making me wonder if this is if it's gonna make the cut or not. Yeah, look at that. Perhaps I will do it a better way. I don't know. I should get a razor out and just cut a nice straight edge. It's okay to change your mind, people. Sometimes you got to change your mind. All right. How we doing? We got Audio Freaker in the chat. Welcome back to the family, Audio Freaker. I think you are officially in the family now. So welcome. We love you. Audio Freaker saying, I'm loopy. Yeah, there's a lot of loops going on here. Once again, what you're hearing in the background is Ease, episode 6, reversed and pitched up. Something a little bit strange, something a little bit loopy. There's tons of tape loops in that Ease show, of course. Audio Freaker saying, I didn't give anyone permission to loop tape. Ah! You caught me tape-handed, man. Okay. So I got a nice X-Acto knife. Once again, everyone, be safe when you're doing stuff like this. I'm mainly trying to just tell myself that because I can get a little bit distracted when I'm doing a show. I'm talking to ya and handling sharp objects, which probably isn't the smartest thing, but if I tell you to be safe, then that means I'm going to be safe, right? Okay. So I'm just getting just gonna eyeball it, but you can take the reel. That's what we're basing this off of here. You want it to be the same width as a reel. Okay. And I'm just gonna eyeball it again. I have 2 eyeballs for a reason, my friends. You gotta use them. Okay, let's see. Can he make the cut safely? I'm not sure. And I didn't know I decided that this studio table of mine was going to become a workbench. I might have to... I guess I'm making an exception. And of course, it's not exactly perfect, but it is pretty dang good. It's pretty dang good. We might have to cut another one of these later, but I'm realizing now how flimsy that is. That is thin. But as I was mentioning before, I think the thinness... Hop the thin might be a good thing because it's gonna peel the tape off of the reel, hopefully a little bit better. We've been chamfering or beveling the edges. Gonzin recommended doing that in the group Discord. Cutting it like at an angle here to give it a bit of a bevel. And on this one, I'm not sure if I can even do that because it's so thin. But on the thicker stuff, I would recommend... It's camphor, right? Or is it chamfer? Oh, man. Too many words. It's actually a bevel. But let's make... yeah, it's definitely thicker than this stuff. So it's all a big experiment, right? Isn't that... I kind of feel like that's the universe. At large. Okay. Let's put away the sharp things. I think we're good on that. I'm not sure if this amount will make the... Will I have too many catchphrases. I gotta make some more. Anyways. Before I forget, let's get our rubber band here. I got a bunch of different sizes somewhere kicking around in my studio. Yeah, here they are. So check this out, you guys. And it was nice. I got them all in different colors, so I know which ones are which. Although the black ones seem to be the best one. And, you know, I didn't post a link to it. My bad. Maybe I'll post a link at some point in time. If you're interested, just ask in the chat or the comments. But I think I'm going to use the black one today because it's the smallest. And I've noticed that... I don't know, it just seems to work better, but I don't have enough experience. Maybe we'll use the white one. I don't know. Let's try it out. This one's just a little bit bigger, so there is more of it when you stretch it onto the reel. I'll do this one so we can see it. The reason why I like these white rubber bands, I'm thinking, is because you will know the exact moment when a log jam is gonna begin, and then you could, I guess, fade out the tape before it stops. It's a bit sketchy. But yeah, on my last Ease show, Ease 06, I did play my 2 recorded Oodles of Noodles cassette tape loops with no problem. I ran them as slow as I could on my Tascam 414. And if you'd like to figure out how I modified that Tascam, I have a video on my channel called Slow It Down, Tascam Walkman Speed Modification, or something like that. You can find that on my channel. We're making a lot of progress here online. I sure appreciate you all for tuning in and having a good time with me on all these weird, freaky shows I'm doing. A little bit of a blast from the past. But did you see what I did there? I put the toothpick under the rubber band on the reel. Ooh. And because it kind of helps straighten it out a bit, you see? And I'm kind of rolling the toothpick and the reel, and I'm trying to get the rubber band to be, you know, as even as possible and as parallel with the reel as possible. I think you guys get it, right? And then when you take it off, you might have a little bit of a... But that, my friends, is a rubberized reel, and I got these on Amazon. I really should post the link to it. Maybe someone who really cares can do it. Yeah, I don't have a SKU or anything like that, but the link, I don't know. There's a lot of stuff we got to do to make this all future-proof, right? I promised Hen I would keep the community Discord chat very, very simple. We're just going to have, you know, the after party chat room, which is just one chat room. And then there's the before party chat room, which is where I post all of my upcoming shows. If you would like an invite to the group Discord, let me know. Maybe I'll do it. I'll post one at the end of the show. How does that sound, my friends? Okay. So, it's a big distraction day today. I don't know. Maybe I should just have a drink and sit back with you guys and just chat. I like to do that. Yeah. I'm a human too, you know. Refreshing grapefruit. Very good. All right. Let's catch up on the chat a little bit for a second. We got Audio Freaker. Audio Freaker, you, in your hazmat suit. I'm not sure. I can't catch up on all that. That's quite a lot. Let's see. What I did see in my mind is Audio Freaker in their hazmat suit trying to make tape loops, but the fingers are like astronaut fingers, and it's like too much rubber, too much thickness, can't maneuver, can't make a tape loop to save your life on the moon. If they ever sent me to space, which I don't want to do it. I like this planet way too much, but I would probably be making tape loops into infinity and beyond. Okay, let's get back to work. But first, we got Kenneth in the chat with the quote of the day. Kenneth is saying, why not just live in the moment, especially if it has a good beat? I like that. Thank you, Kenneth, for the quote of the day. You're always coming through with the quote of the day, my friend. Okay, so after we chat our brains off and shake off some of the intimidation of the Oodles of Noodles tape loop, we can make one. This is very flimsy, but I'm wondering if it will still be enough tension for our cassette tape loop. And I'm kind of hoping I have enough here to do everything we need to do. I'm kind of worried that we don't, so we might have to cut some more. But with the Adam's rib part, that's this part over here. Yeah, it's flimsy. I like the flimsiness because of, like I mentioned before, it's going to help peel the tape off of the reel. I was thinking I would just size that up appropriately, but you want to kind of maximize the area. Although I'm not trying to cram way too much tape into one of these. Just enough tape. Okay, now the angle of attack, I think, is very important. That's been one of the main issues with this whole type of tape loop. One of the reasons, gosh, man, see, it's a lot. I figured out a lot of stuff. We've been working with Gonzin and Draco and in the Discord chat trying to figure out the best way to do this. But one of the problems I've noticed with the bigger rubber bands is that if it's not perfectly on there, it will just stick to the case. And that's not ideal because then you will get a log jam somewhere in here, which might have been what Gonzin was actually talking about. Tension on the tape reel. But it looks like, I don't know, maybe we could just try this out. We're done. There's our tape loop. Let's listen for the splice. Oh wait, there's no splice. There's no tape. It does seem, and this is another problem with the Bic pen, is that there's this angle here. It's not a perfect 90-degree angle, but I can kind of feel that the rubber is bouncing around a little bit in there. Maybe, just maybe, just flip it. Gravity's a factor too. Yeah, so it makes me wonder if I will be able to make tape loops in space. Zero gravity. But by the time I'm going into space, I fully expect it to be like a cruise ship. Nice and comfy. And hopefully there'll be some friendly aliens on the ship too to guide us to our home planet. I'd sure like to see my home planet. I hope it still exists. I know it does in some timeline somewhere, but we won't get into that. Not today. Not today. I think that'll be okay. Let's just try it out. You can watch the whole process right here on Tape Tuesday. It's the success or the failure. Okay, so that looks like a nice... Looks nice. Let's see. Sometimes I feel like the angle of approach on the tape should be a little bit sharper, but kind of have to balance all these things. And then, what did I do on these newer ones here? Let's see, this one. That's the very first one I made. That's what I call Lilith, and we got Eve here. Yeah, see, I got Adam's rib curling over here. Oh, that's right. So I'm using the angle of this part here. I'm not sure if you can see that. See how it's got a little bit of an angle right there? I'm using that as kind of the feed-in area. So on the newer versions, and let's see, here's, I guess this one's Venus, number 3. Venus is also doing that as well. Let me know if you like my weird naming convention here. But this will be Dove 01, the daughter of Venus 01. It takes a while to prototype, especially when you're creating something a little bit different. Okay, so yeah. The problem with the Lilith one here, and maybe they'll all live up to their names, I'm not sure. The Adam's rib comes right through here and locks up in the corner, as you can see. And when the splice comes through, I've noticed sometimes the splice gets caught on Adam's rib, which is kind of free-flowing here in the Lilith tape. And it pulls it down and does a little, you know, kind of maybe a little bit dodgy. So that was my intended solution for that. Which means we need to tape Adam's rib in 2 places, and it has to come up here. All right. So I'm just trying to get a nice size here. It's kind of a chill Tuesday for me, I guess. I don't know. I was so procrastinating in the beginning. Probably. What are we at? We've already done an hour show, and we don't even have a tape loop to try out yet. Okay, so yeah, it's going to connect up right there, and we try to utilize as much space here as we can. And that would be a nice, beautiful oodle tape loop. I'm going to cut it right there, I think. We'll work with that. And that'll leave us enough room for our teardrop on the fire. Oh, and this is the edge that we probably want to... Is it chamfer or camphor? Bevel. We're gonna bevel it. I think that might be the right term anyway, but I like chamfer. Is it? Now I gotta look this up. What is wrong with me? Okay, yeah. So I'm gonna cut it at as much of an angle as I can. Bam, and hopefully it's perpendicular. That's pretty perpendicular. And I want to keep it, although it's not that flat. It's got a little bit of a swarf going on here. Maybe I can trim the little swarf off of there. Oof, I think I got it. Maybe I'll do the other corner too. I don't know, you guys. It's not an exact science, although it could be. It can be. I'm trying to get it to be. I just want to remember which edge was the one there, if I can... Okay. So, of course, you're going to need a lot of tape for your tape. I'll pull out some of this. And I like a nice, clean edge. So I'll take off a little excess, put it on our triple tape bug over here. Look, it's gnarly. That's a whole E's show worth of tape bug. And then what I've been doing, let's see, I don't need, I kind of forgot how I did this, you guys, but not too much. Let's see, I'm gonna take about this much tape. Oh gosh, it's sticking to itself. That might be okay. It's dodgy. Welcome to my Dodgy Tuesday show, where it's all VHS. Okay, so then, I'm not sure what is more important. Possibly the angle of attack is the most important. Probably want to tape that in first, and I think it just flipped itself around, so I won't know what edge is the beveled edge. That looks right. Okay. Maybe I should reference Venus here. She should be the perfect one. All right, so putting tension on the reel is the deal. And I need a jig. I need to make up a jig for this, but you kind of want it to be under tension. So this is what I'll do. I'm going to place my tape right about here. I just had the urge to say this is all highly experimental, although it's not. We've been doing this and other people have been doing this, and I just taped my tape to the tape. That's bad. Don't want to do that. Whoopsies. Oh, I wish I could get that off now. Dang it. Let's see here. Yeah, there we go. Okay. You belong with the tape bug. I promised you guys I wasn't going to be keeping these, but I did save that just to show you guys how big of a tape bug you can get when you're really making tape loops all night, brother. Super fiddly. And of course it's getting hot in here, which it shouldn't be doing because it's cooling down on the place of the planet where I live. Yeah, that's one of the frustrating parts about this is getting the tape the way it needs to be on the Adam's rib so it doesn't stick to itself in the process. Okay, we're trying this again, my friend. And a little lower, I don't know, let's see. Adam's rib, like I'm some sort of god over here. I'm the tape god. No, for those of you who are curious, I'm sure you can figure out why I'm calling it that. I'll let that be a little bit of an insider joke. Okay, so I'm trying to kind of open up both of these sticky tape ends here, like butterfly wings, and less like cricket feet. But it's super fiddly. I feel like maybe the better... Yeah, I don't know, guys. What did Bill Alexander used to say? Do as I say, not as I do. But in this case, do as I do, not as I say. Okay, so I'm trying to push this up so there'll be some tension on the tape, and you want the angle of attack to be just right. And that seems like probably a good angle, but we maybe there, I don't know. Again, I want to say this is all highly experimental, even though it's not, but it kind of feels like that's probably what I'm really trying to say, is that each time you make an oodles of noodles tape loop, you're kind of experimenting. And that doesn't look very good. Let's try that just one more time. Needs to be a bit more, dare I say, voluptuous looking. Maybe I can just land it right where it needs to go. Come on, baby. That's not right. You can't invite the tape to get sucked back in onto the rubberized reel there. It really has to be perfectly placed. So this is the most difficult part of the whole thing. Maybe I should tape up the top first. That might be a smart thing to do on second thought, because it is... Yeah, let's just do that. Ugh. This is the part where my back starts to complain. It is a weird position to be in. And I don't... It's like... You've done this before, right, Jono? I think so. Yeah, it looks like... Looks like I just have taped one... Oh, I think I see what I did there. And it's not quite at the edge. It doesn't need to be exactly at the edge. This might be a bit thick here as well. Jeez. Okay, that's not even the rib. Back to Adam's rib. Scatterbrain day. Give me a like and subscribe if you're having fun here. If not, and we'll see you on the next E show. This is, I think, what I've done. Okay, so I have the tape like that on one end. I'm going to probably make a proper tutorial of this at some point, but I do need to perfect it before that happens. Okay, so I'm just wrapping it around like that, which will be a lot easier to pin down, my friend. And I want it to just connect up. Sometimes it just lands right, and that's what you're going for. Okay, so that looks pretty good. Yeah, that's definitely going to be part of the rule here, is tape the top of it first, and then you can get yourself a nice, smooth-looking Adam's rib. And these things want to fall out too, so I'll just put those on the cassette upstairs. Don't lose those, you need them. Okay, so that's not quite exact. Let's see. You really gotta land this. That looks pretty good, although we will find out. Vivil, as my friend Bill loves to say. Vivil. And you do want a little bit of tension, so you want that plastic to be pushing against the reel a little bit. Not so much that it, look at that tension there. That's going to be one of the tickets to success, I think. Watch how much it moves. See that? That's about, 7 millimeters maybe of spring or tension. And then we'll tape down our other side, because we have decided that is going to be the shape of our lovely dove tape. We'll call this Daughter of Venus 01. And it might be fun to write that on the inside of the tape. I don't know, but you still can't read it. I'm trying to come up with all sorts of ideas. All right, that's good. That is if we keep doing this, Adam's not going to have any more ribs. Some of you might not mind, but yeah. So I think, yeah, that's good. So it has tension on the reel, no matter where it is. And that's going to help with your peel job. You're going to peel the tape off. And I am just using Scotch tape to put these down. I'm wondering if there's a better way. It would be cool to have... we saw somebody, what was it? Robot Mammal. They were doing a lot of these kinds of freaky tape loops on YouTube. I would recommend checking out that channel. But I saw Robot Mammal was using some kind of thin brass. We think it's like a thin brass instead of a plastic, which is nice because the shape will just hold. It holds shape. Okay, that seems all right. That'd be cool to try out too. Although I don't know how if brass plays friendly with cassette tape or not. I know that brass isn't exactly magnetic. But I have seen... Have you guys ever seen that where they have like a thick copper tube or pipe and they drop a big electromagnet down the pipe and the copper slows it down? Anyways, so I'm just thinking that using metal inside of here might not be the best idea. But brass would probably be the best kind of metal. Something... non-magnetic or non-ferric. Let's assume that that's going to be a good size here. Yeah, I did taper that a little bit, not on purpose, but my perfectionism is kicking in again. I just want to trim off a little bit more of that. Oh, that might be too much, but that's okay. I just didn't want it to be too thick. I do want the cassette case to be able to close when I'm done with this. All right. And of course, take your plastic scraps and stick them on your tape bug so you don't lose them. You don't want scraps flying around for numerous reasons, but potentially the number one reason being you don't want it to get into your machines. Oh, especially sticky tape stuff. All right. Now, I use the same method with the tape on the teardrop, kind of the same as with the Adam's rib. And I think that'll be enough. It's a little bit small. I do like to have the teardrop going all the way down here. I suppose we can modify that if we need to, but it will look a little something like that. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of short, which is a bummer because I don't know if I can use this then if it doesn't... Yeah, no, I could use that for the next Adam's rib, but let's just try to use that today because we have it. And we need a little bit more tape for it, so let's get that going. This can be a little thicker than the last one. Yeah, it's definitely a lot easier making the standard style Tink Tread tape loop. The Oodles of Noodles is a bit complicated. And I'm going to cut off this little beveled edge here because it just looks kind of ugly to me. Not that I would ever see it, but yeah, there's the tape bug once again. Okay, so match up the ends here. How we doing in the chat room? I'm sending you guys love. Yeah, this is the part where I kind of ignore you guys because I got my head down in the tape land. Okay, so I do... Let's see here. I like to wrap this around, although I can't remember how I did that. I think... Okay, that's what we'll do. I'll stick the tape on one edge here. Yeah, I probably don't need it folded for that, but I'm trying to get it all the way down to the bottom like that. It's a little flag. Oh, I'm letting my little freaky tape flag fly. You know who you are. I'm calling out for you. Let your freak flag fly. Ooh, that's a tongue twister. Okay, so line those up as good as you can, and then fold the tape over, right? See that? And then that excess tape... Let's take the reel out here so we're done creating a logjam before hopefully real boy logjams, okay? Oh gosh. Woo! All right, so I stick it down in the corner there, and you kind of want it to be well straight up. Now tell me, is it gonna be you? And then, yeah, it's just fiddly. It's kind of falling out. Okay, and then you fold over that tape onto the outside of the shell. That's my trick. It's one of my tricks. Okay, and that should give you a happy ghast tear. I guess... Oh, it's a happy ghast tear. I don't know how many of you guys play Minecraft, but those of you who do, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And it's funny because... Gosh, I can't believe that. That's when you know a metaphor is a really good one, because we're using Adam's rib here, which would be like a bone, and this is a happy ghast tear. Although in Minecraft they are not happy when you get the tear from them. But in Minecraft you need, what is it, 8? You need 8 ghast tears and a bone block to make a baby happy ghast. And that's what we're trying to do here. We're trying to make a happy. Which is also a white flying thing. So I'm calling these doves, oh man, the metaphors, they just keep reverberating through the realm. Look at that! That's how I do it. I also was tempted to call this the dolphin. Right here. We got dolphin in the chat today. Where's our dolphin? Okay, so that should be good, although I know that the tear is a little bit small on this one. Oh, and it's also perfect because when you're making a dove and then when doves cry. Gosh, I'm on fire. I'm on fire. Yeah, look, the tear is way bigger on... this is Lilith tape, the very first one. Although I'm not sure if Lilith was made from Adam's... the other rib. I feel bad that Adams was running around with just one missing rib. You can at least make it even. Maybe they had 2 ribs. And I'm getting distracted again. Okay, So now, let's see if I need to clean this up a little bit. We got to pull out some tape. Let's do it. Yeah. All right, so we got our loop tape here. I can't read that. I did that a long time ago, you guys. I've been using this tape for a long time to make all of my tape loops. And you can see it is getting a little bit thin, kind of like this. These were both a lot bigger. Although this will run out way faster than this. Maybe. Not sure. Okay. It's also thinner too, so there's a lot more of it. Maybe they'll graduate at the same time. Okay, this is my new way to do it. I showed you this earlier, but we're gonna actually use it this time. All right. And I just set it up vertical, and I can pull out as much tape as I like. And this is the difficult part, you guys. I had a lot of trouble with this when I was making Eve and and Venus the other day. It's so silly. I'm a self-proclaimed tape god over here, making. I don't know. Part of it's because I feel like I'm giving these tapes life. Especially you feel like that when you record onto them. All right, looks like in the chat room, Kiara's letting us know we just got 444 followers. That's pretty great, you guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate you all. And Gonzin then swiftly replied with, what was it? 58 to go. Yeah, I guess that is the correct math. 58 to go, and to go to what? Well, when I reach 500 subscribers, I'm doing Tape Week. Tape Week, and I know someone in the chat who's very excited for that indeed, is Master Tiger. Master Tiger wants Tape Life. And we could do that, although I would not have a life. And I need one of those. I do need one of those. Don't we all? Okay. I just got so many things in my brain, you guys. It's the restraint I exercise I deserve an award for. Because there's way too many things I could say, which might seem strange because of all the things I do say. But yeah, there's like 20-fold. I got, in the brain. Insane in the brain. So this is the tricky part. Let's grab the splicing block. I do want to use it. Maybe I'll zoom out just a little bit for you. Okay. This is tricky because we're using a lot more tape, but you got to watch out for the Mobius loops. And here's my little tape leader jobber, which I just kind of mangled up a little bit. That's not fun. I did make it extra long, so I can probably trim that off. This is definitely the Tape Tuesday day of total distraction. I'm all over the place for some reason. I don't have a good reason. Maybe I do. Maybe it was all of the technical difficulties I had before the show. Gives me a nice excuse to be all over the place for the duration of the show. Okay. So yeah, the big issue here would be Mobius loop, and the splicing block might help us avoid that. So let's go for it. I'm gonna put it in here, and I'm doing an angle splice, of course, because we do believe that I guess makes the splice less audible. And now that would be the wrong tool for the wrong moment, but these razors come with a piece of cardboard covering them, or at least this one did, and I like to use that piece of cardboard. Let's just line up the tape here. I like to use this piece of cardboard to what would you say, tamp down or snug in. I'm snugging the tape down there. Okay, and now that's good. That's where we're splicing. To avoid a Mobius loop, and again, this is an oodles of noodles tape, you can kind of grab as much as you think you want, or as much as you think your tape can handle. But just like our normal style, I put this tape leader down here so that I can rip off the excess after we make the cut. and then we tape it. That's the whole process. Okay, so let's see here. I have in my mind the length that I kind of been using for these other ones, but I'm just trying to keep track of which side is up so I don't Mobius this, because I did indeed Mobius one of them. I'd be defaming myself if I said I Mobiused more than one. You kind of got to like make a mistake and learn the lesson. Okay, I think I'm going to call it this long right here, and we'll just verify once more that that is the top of the tape. Okay, great. And I think you cut it. You just make the cut. So I'll make just a rough cut right there. Okay, keeping the top. All right. Woo. Yeah, it's already oodles of noodles. Okay, so that's the top of the tape, and you're going to flip it around, no twists, nothing crazy here. And then put that down, just so there's some overlap onto that little tape leader that I use. Yeah, this is kind of my technique, and I've modified it for the oodles of noodles, which I've only done, this will be the 4th time. So I suppose I'm making history, maybe, for myself at least. This is where I gotta get in there and make sure I do a nice cut. Oh, I think that's a nice cut. I take the razor in the splicing block, and I like to kind of, I don't know, on that one it seemed like I kind of pulled it, but I tend to like to push it down and slice it. Don't chop it. That's basically the main tip there, is don't chop it. Now grab some tweezers. We'll grab that excess out. That's why the leader's there, guys. So that the tweezers can come grab that little excess piece out and deliver it happily to the tape bug planet. It is that is turning into a planet, actually. I saw on Instagram the other day there was somebody making a ball out of their disposable contact lenses, which is kind of interesting, but I don't think I'm gonna. That's not the art we're making here today. It's just a little bit of a side bug. All right, so after that, I like to push this down. These are the 2 splices, and I cut them together. So you see, I looped the tape around, so I made the loop, and then I cut them together, and then there's excess on the top that we remove, and then you're ready to tape it. And when you pull the loop out, there'll be the other side's excess on the bottom, which we're not worried about because it's not in the way of the splice that we're about to do. And I keep losing the splice here. I'm listening for the splice. Well, rather, I'm feeling for the splice. There it is. Bam. And it's kind of nice to keep your splice open because, as you can imagine, I just mangled it, and you don't want to use that. You don't want to use that mangled tape there. And I don't know, are we doing a straight one or an angled one? I debate myself every time on what's better, to cut it perpendicular or cut it at an angle. I think... Oh, gosh, you guys. I think I'm going to just do like a really mild angle on this one. And I'm doing the angle in the other direction, so hopefully that doesn't cause any problems. But okay, and then also I don't know if it's better to have a long splice or a short one. I'm going to go, I guess, medium with this. Oh, there. Okay, that's it. That is it. It's funny. I put this on my video mixer's T-bar over here. That's Mr. T-bar. All right, this is another point in time where I got to get in there. But I like to use tweezers. It kind of helps a lot. All right. You got to be extra careful with this part, because if you kind of screw it up, you got to redo it. And I didn't do the best with that, although I think it's probably going to be okay. Whew. Luckily, if you fail, you just have to kind of repeat the last step. Although, if one of these things fails, we will have to... yeah, I don't know. It's tricky. The oodles is tricky. I'd like to perfect this and get it to the point where I can just use only oodles of noodles tape loops, because you can fit a lot more music on them. Alright. Yeah, that's a bit... The tape, I don't know if you can see it, but it's not exactly perfect. I was worried about that. And of course there is tape hanging off the edge. That's no fun, you guys. Maybe it's the music. Wow. Was it a good idea to reverse the Ease show in its entirety? I thought it was a good idea because a lot of the tape loops that I play in my Ease shows are also reversed. So it's like half reversed one day and then half reversed the next day. I actually ate into the tape there, I think. I'm screwing up. Well, no, I don't know. I don't know. I guess I just got it just right. It looked like... I guess I was worried about that in the back of my mind. Sometimes I have to trim off the excess splicing tape, but that will be our oodle. That's our noodle right there. And once again, you want to make sure you have it on the right side, and you can you can verify that it's not a Mobius loop. Once again, this is a good time to do that. And if it is, I'm not going to know how, but I'll be shocked. But yeah, that is not a Mobius loop. All right, so now is the time when we feed in. We feed it in. This would be the time, and oh boy, you guys, I might need to take a little bit of a break because that does get to my back, I'll tell you. I gotta do a little bit of a... Shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. Ooh, how we doing in the chat room, my friends? We got Gonzin in the chat saying, been feeding... You know, I need to make this chat a little bit bigger, you guys. That is just way too small for me to read. These things are in flux, you know, everything is an adjustment here and there. It seems like, oh yeah, that's much better. Now I can actually read my own chat room. What's better, having more chat or being able to read it? Probably being able to read it. So we got Gonzin in the chat saying, I've been feeding the tape in after closing the shells lately. Then splice outside the shell, much easier. Yeah, I may have done that on one or two. I've only made 3 of these. I'm trying to come up with the best technique, and then I can make a proper tutorial video on Electric Archaic, oodles of noodles. Tape loop. Oh, we got Dolphin in the chat. How we doing, Dolphin? It's good to see you. Good to see you back. We got all of the usual suspects. Especially now that Hen is back. How you been, Hen? Excuse me. Okay. I gotta take my back break. That's part of Tape Tuesday, right? We got Kiara in the chat saying, cool background colors. Oh, you think so? It's all very light blue. It's very dolphin-y today, I guess. Let's get back to it. Let's feed in the tape. Okay, so... Yeah, I'm not sure, Gonzin. I think why I did the splice before feeding it in is because I need to make sure I'm not Mobius looping it. That's the problem, because it's hard to keep track of that. Maybe it's easy for ya after the fact. I'm just checking that splice. That was a bit of a dodgy splice. You get it? Yeah, anyways. Okay. Let's feed it in. Let's feed this tape. So, of course, It's going to be fiddly, and you want to get it going. I'm not sure exactly where to start or where the best place to start is, but we're not hopping the pin, my friend. Not on this. We don't need to. But I often hop the pin. We've got 2 pins right here, and when you're doing any other type of tape loop that's, I guess, not an Oodles of Noodles tape loop, you can hop the pin if your tape ended up being cut a little bit too short. Okay, I'm going to remove the reel here. We got our teardrop on the fire, and we'll push. It's tough with the rubber band. It's sticky, you know. The tape kind of sticks to it, and I'm wondering, the more you run it, if it kind of gets not necessarily dusty, but kind of, and not that it's curing either, but oh guys, I'm hoping that, did I do something oh yeah, there we go. Gosh, I was thinking I totally messed up on that. Okay, can you see that? Can you see what I'm doing there? Can you see where the tape is going? I'm just feeding it into the parts that matter, although it's making me wonder if we do hop this pin. Let's see, let's have a look here. Yeah, we are hopping the pin. Oh, I love that. It gives me another reason to say that. Hop the pin. Yeah, it's funny, I recently did a video about the Roland TR-1000. You might want to check that out. But it's mainly just me ranting to Roland about why are you guys not reissuing a proper big boy TB303, 808, and 909? I know they're going to do it. The question is just when. I hope they do it sooner rather than later. Alright, it's fiddly. It's fiddly. I got the tape is flying all over the place. Alright, here we go. Okay, guys. Maybe. I'm not sure. Let's see. Maybe I'll take these off for a second. Yeah. It's part of my costume. Okay. Now, I think I got everything in the right place at the right time. I think, well, you know, of course I would think this, but I think everyone should make tape loops. It's a nice exercise in being creative, being patient, which is especially important. And, you know, it's good to do something tangible for a change. I would know. I've been creating content for ages, my friends. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I do all the graphic design and video editing, and I'm a one-man band over here. I write all my own jokes, too, unless Kiara writes them. I'll steal her jokes anytime. Put it on my tab, Kiara. Okay, back with the glasses. My shades. You guys remember that one time that Freaky Teddy stole my shades? Where's that Freaky? Ow! We haven't seen Freaky for a while. That's because I've been just opening my mail up. Yeah, Freaky Teddy brings in my mail, and I haven't had a lot of mail that I haven't wanted to just open up. Okay, very carefully, my friends, very carefully. You put the shell back on that oyster. Oh no. I don't know what's happening, but I don't want that tape to get pinched. Oh, that was what I was getting at when I was mentioning my TR-1000 video. I was talking about how the Roland boutiques, every time I go to open it up, because the boutiques have like this, just, I don't know, it's kind of dumb, but it's kind of cool that you can put it in with a keyboard or something. But anyways, every time I open up this thing, it's kind of like a clamshell on the Roland boutiques. As I'm holding it, it pinches me, and I'm thinking, did that really get past QC over at Roland? So I made a bit of a joke about that. Okay, I'm hoping this is all going to be happy here. We're always going for the happy tape loop. a happy galaxy. I'm hearing a bunch of things click into place. Oh boy. Okay. Whether it works or not, I hope we've all had fun here making this. This would be Dove 01. Daughter of Venus 01. Kind of cool. That's kind of fun. I have an overactive imagination. Or maybe it's just right. Maybe everyone else is underactive. Let's go with that, I think. You guys need a jolt of imagination and originality. Originality, is that a word? Originality. Uniqueness. What you're hearing in the background right now is my favorite tape loop, and I think it's I'm pretty sure it's my first tape loop, although that was that back in 2020 when I got into cassette tapes. I kind of missed that as a kid, although JJ Huggins and I were always listening to his demo tapes in the Purple Pathfinder. Where's JJ? We missing JJ today? My man. Funny, I just like to make fun of everything if I can. Oh, right, so check it out. Oh, there's a bit of a pinch. Oh no. That's not good. Yeah, we're gonna have to get back in there. Dang it! Oh well. I should have seen it before. Dang, that's one reason why I like to put in just one screw when I'm making tape loops. But with the oodles of noodles tape loop, there's so much going on. You wanna screw it all down. So sorry for my oversight. I hope it doesn't mangle the tape too much. Tape is so fragile; it gets mangled really easy. Anyways. Okay, let's get back in here without trying not to lose our whole, I don't know what to call that, our thread job. I'm gonna have to take these shades off once again. Oh gosh, oh no, my friends. That would be, I said we were making history, but I didn't want to make that kind of history, breaking my Tape Tuesday shades. Live! Yeah, that was, I gotta take my own advice. Slow down a little bit. I'm not sure exactly why that got pinched, because it looks okay now, but I'm gonna do a little bit of a wind up just to ensure things are looking good, and they are. That's our first little oodle right there, see? I guess things that go like this are called oodles. Maybe Webster will credit me for that. No. Definitely been saying that for a long time. All right, let's try this again. It just wants to pinch. Why are you pinching? Why do you pinch? Come on, my friend. Let's, okay. Verifying and pushing it down. I think we're okay here, but we can do another test wind them up. Yeah, I think we're good. And the peel is looking good. Oh no, the tape's not happy in there. It's going sideways. That's another issue I remember experiencing, and this is going to be maybe a short oodle here. Probably should have had more tape. Dang it! Why did I? Now it looks like Winnie the Pooh. It's a moose. Moose. You ruined my moose. There we go. We got our Winnie the Pooh quote in for the day. Gotta have that. Where's Kiara? We gotta have our Wayne's World quote too. Cha. I guess we're opening this back up again. Oh boy. All of my tape loop life, I've been looking for a dove that would wanna take flight. Oh boy, I better not sing too much of that. I'm looking for any copyright problems here. okay. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, it's not... I guess it's not exactly for the faint of heart. A little bit frustrating at times, even. I'm not sure why you're doing it that way. Okay, yeah, so... I'm tempted to just wind it like this. Maybe Gonzin's over there thinking, ha 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 ha, my way is superior. And it might be. Okay, I think we're good. I think we're good enough to put the screws back in. All right. We'll have to have a nice catch up on the chat here in just a minute. Well, I can get my second back break. Oh man, I don't know why. It's a very awkward position for me. Mainly because this table's a bit high. It's a bit above my elbow, so I'm bending, twisting to bring all of this to ya. That screw is not going in very happily there. That's an important one to keep that whole the teardrop on the fire. The anatomy of a Jonah tape loop. I mean, an Electric Archaic tape loop. Oh no, Joe, no. Let's see. We don't want too many oh no's for the Jono, you know? All right. Oh gosh, you guys. It's a big, I'd say it's like a gamble, kind of, but I don't know if it's exactly a gamble. It's more of like, how many times do you need to fix it before it works? All right. Okay, we got it all screwed back together. I'm not sure what the most pleasurable way to watch this is, if you want me to zoom out or not. But I guess I can show you at least how much tape we got. That's the noodle. It's kind of a short noodle, which I don't mind. But I'm thinking it's a little bit shorter than these other ones. Okay, let's zoom in for the wind-up. All right, so you got our oodles there, but I want to keep this flat. I know you can't really see it because it's slicing right through. It's nice and thin. Okay, let's do the wind-up. This is the first test, and that's when we messed up last time. So I'm gonna go nice and slow here, and hopefully it's not gonna get, I don't know what to call that. That's not exactly a log jam. It's like a sidewinder or it slips loose underneath the reel. Don't do it. Don't do it. Oh, I'm hoping we have enough tension on this with that tiny teardrop. I think we're going to be okay. I'm hoping we're going to be okay. Yeah, this is the scariest part. And here's the splice. We got the splice coming. And the splice has been peeled. Peeled off onto Adam's rib. And let's, I'll zoom you out for the last little oodle here. It makes me wonder if the length of tape will affect it negatively or not. I know that having too much tape will certainly affect it negatively, but too little tape, yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's a non-issue. Okay, here's the last little oodle down here. Let's watch it. Let's guide it in. Ooh. This is where the log jams really happen, is when you're doing the wind up. Okay, we got tension. We got tension. That is an Oodles of Noodles tape loop, my friends. And it doesn't have too much tape in there, although it will oodle around a lot more when we get it. It's got a little free spirit in there. I think it's doing okay. I don't know. Yeah. Kind of sounds like that's the end of our soundscape. Oh, don't you love it when things just happen at the perfect time? Hey, okay. Once again, what you're hearing in the background is Ease, episode 6, reversed and pitched up. I like it. Oh. At first glance, sometimes I say on first glance, which is silly. On first glance, it looks like it is indeed going to be a happy Oodles of Noodles tape loop. It's definitely a beauty. It's definitely a daughter of Venus, if you know what I mean. Whoa. Woo! So we were going to use this in the TCM as an echo tape. Yeah. That's a 3-head tape recorder, which will allow you to listen to the tape you just recorded because it has a 3rd tape head in there. It's really cool. It's a TCM 500 EV, in case you're wondering once again. Ooh, that was a lot. That was a lot of pressure. A lot of pressure. And I would like to figure out some way to do this without the Scotch tape in the middle, because it doesn't really look that pro. But it is, it's kind of I think it's like the best way to do it. Yeah. I've thought about, I don't want to make incursions onto anything if I don't have to, you know. It's same with my gear, you know, when I do modifications, I make the drill holes in the bottom, and it really, like, anyways, I'm not that much of a circuit bender. You know, I've seen some of these machines that just have knobs and socket jacks all over them, and it's kind of cool, although I feel bad for some of these things. I remember seeing these things on, like these 303s on eBay that were crazy circuit bent, and, you know, I mean, the Devilfish was a real pro job. I love the Devilfish. Adds value, but sometimes the modifications take value from vintage equipment. All right, guys, should we listen for the splice? It's that time. Yes, we finally made it. Let's listen for the splice, and hopefully no log jams. Right, Gonzin? That's right. Okay, let's take this standard style tank tread tape loop out of here, and maybe remove some of the shine on my tape machine. I want to just run this, I think, in there. See what we're working with. I might have to get a little bit of a light or zoom in. I'm not sure if you guys can see the oodle very good. Yeah, it's got this strange shade that comes down and makes it even more difficult to see. I suppose I could take a light and... All right, let's drop it down. Let's make it as slow as we can, and we're not going to hear anything because it's... Well, no, we're listening for the splice, so I'll turn the levels up. Everyone say a nice little prayer to the gods of the analog freakiness that this Oodles of Noodles tape loop is indeed a happy tape loop. If not, we'll have to pull out our backup. We'll have to pull out the backup one and hope that one doesn't have a log jam. Okay, let's do it. We're going to try it out. It's always a bit scary. And it looks like it's peeling just fine. Yep, there's the splice. And I'll tell you when it's coming through. Maybe we can hear it. Maybe I lost it. I think, I don't know when is too early to call it. But I do think that, my friends, is a happy Oodles of Noodles tape loop. Woo. Oh, yeah, that feels good. It feels freaking great. Yes. Yeah, I don't know. I was going to use the joke today that, you know, hopefully my beginner's luck doesn't run out. But I think it already did when I was making version 2 and version 3, and then version 1 had a log jam, so I had to undo it, and when I put the tape back in, I didn't realize I put it in backwards, so the Lilith tape, which is the first one that we made on the last episode of Tape Tuesday, up there goes the splice, and I didn't hear it, so that's nice. It's nice to have a clean splice. Yeah, it got a little bit log jammed and mangled on that first cassette tape loop. And so, yeah, it's backwards. It's kind of funny. I'll zoom you in just a little bit. I don't really want to move the camera too much. It's a bit bumpy for you guys, but I think you can see it. It's oodling and noodling. That might be a good technique. That's my technique anyway. Oh, how long have we been on for? 100 minutes? We have been going for... Jeez, guys, it's been almost 2 hours. Thank you so much for staying tuned to your local, and I mean planet Earth local, because we're all galactic or something. I don't know. Whew. Losing it. I sometimes lose it when it gets hot in the studio. Check the fans. I got fans. Oh, yeah, it always feels good to make a happy tape loop. That's a happy tape loop. The real trick is going to be, how does it do in our 3-head tape machine? It could be a 1-way ticket or a 3-way ticket. A 3-head tape machine ticket to Logjam City. I feel like Logjam City would be somewhere in Oregon, but I don't know. I'm not sure how to exactly show this to you guys, because when I put it over here in the workstation area, there's a lot of interference, but I guess I can mute the track and just show you. We can get this nice zoom in over here and clean up some of these sharp things. Once again, be careful when you're using sharp things. Okay. Yeah, and it's probably not going to look... There's really no good view for you, but I can zoom in and maybe that'll help us watch the peel off. It's like a noodle, but it's rice peel off. Noodle, tape peel off. Okay, I guess, should I just hit play, or should we just run it as an echo straight away? See if we... Oh gosh. It's scary because you don't know how each individual tape machine is gonna interact with it. Yeah, it's not noodling. Well, you can't see it very well, so I apologize for that, but maybe when we get it spinning, it'll go. It does have the speed control. I'm going to just put that on low, but it will go faster when we do it. I'm just talking way too much. Okay, there we go. It is oodling in there. It's noodling in there. Again, it's not exactly the best view. Maybe I got a better light to shine on that here. Yeah, it's doing just great. It's like a janky rolling space echo we got going on here today. We got Gonzin in the chat saying, it's a dangerous occupation, these noodles tapes. I agree. I don't think it would necessarily break a tape machine, but I don't want to try. I want to find out. Okay, my friends. I don't know. I guess I thought about it long enough, and I got a good technique for it. So you're welcome to use my technique. Once again, I gotta make a proper video tutorial about that. One that's not 2 hours long, although this one will be about 3 hours by the time we're done. I don't know. We can be fast if you guys want. I know you Europeans need to go to sleep. But those of you in Asia are just waking up, so maybe you want me to go for 5 hours. Oh boy. Yeah, once I get 500 subscribers, it's tape week. As soon as I get the notification, boom, I'm going live. And we're going to do some sort of Tape Tuesday madness every day for an entire week. We're getting close. We are getting close. Yep, we got Dolphin in the chat saying happy loopy loop. That is a happy loop. And that makes a happy Electric Archaic as well, because I am also a happy loop. Happy loopy. That's cute. Yeah, it's just running. It's not the best view. Let me see if I can give you a... I'm going to have to, I guess, put something underneath the tape machine so that you can Google at the noodle. Google. Let's see. Let me, I don't know. Yeah, maybe that'll be fun to show you. I don't have anything, though, to wedge up in there. Yeah, maybe I do. Here, let's try. It's funny. I sometimes take a video of the aftermath of my live streams, because sometimes it's just utter chaos in the Electric Archaic studio. This is very precarious indeed. It's not exactly solid here. If I can... Welcome to the dodginess. Okay. I just wanted you guys to see what I'm seeing over here. And now tipping it on its side might encourage it to logjam, but I'm not sure. Because gravity is always a factor when you're on planet, which we are. Or I am. It's one of the things I like to say in the beginning of my shows. Everybody in the galaxy, welcome back to planet Earth, because I'm based on planet Earth, but I might be talking to people who are not. I think it's time for us to get back to where we once belonged. I'm talking about the galaxy. We got to go galactic. I think we're going galactic. It just takes a little bit of time, but I'm here for it, really. A 5-hour tape loop. Wow, I just looked over the chat and saw Gonz. Could you imagine that? A 5-hour tape loop? I had the idea to do a really... I think our friend Draco asked if I ever had done a tape loop where the tape goes outside of the tape, which would prevent a log jam, of course, but it's also, you gotta spool it on stuff or run it around like they do it around mic stands, which I could do here. But I had this idea of creating, I don't know, maybe we should figure out what the world record is on that, but that'd be cool to break some sort of a record. World's longest tape loop, I imagine it going like some of your neighborhoods have a loop. What if I ran the tape loop outside of my Tascam, out of the studio, into the street, and all the way around the block, back in to the studio and into the Tascam, and then and the whole block would be aware of it. We'd have to have signposts and stuff, and you'd have like this little cassette tape loop Hot Wheels tracks going all the way around the block. We'll do it someday. We'll do it. I don't know where, but because I'm sure it wouldn't work on my block here. Maybe it would. I don't know. Let me just catch up on the chat here. We got Kiera talking about the super psychedelic part in my Ease show. Check out my Ease shows. They're doing pretty well, actually. I was amazed. Ease04 has it's pushing up towards about 2,000 views, which is great. So yeah, we're growing. We're getting it going. Still a very small channel here, so you are all in on the ground floor, and I got a lot of cool things in store for ya. Too many things, actually. Almost more things than I can do. I'm gonna have to start hiring help at some point. That'll be a good day. It'll be a great day. Okay, so let's do this. We've got our oodles of noodles tape loop in the 3-head tape machine, and this is our dodgy homemade Roland Space Echo. It's not anywhere near an actual one because there's so many more controls on a proper one. Like a speed control would be good, and that is something I'm going to have to add to this machine. But, you know, I don't like modifying machines if I don't have to. I mean, I guess I kind of do, but it's one of those things that, you know, you can always potentially create more issues than solutions. Okay, we got Gonzin in the chat saying 5 hours of tape would be 1,037 meters of tape. Yikes. And I imagine that's just running at normal tape speed. If we're running at Tascam speed, which is about twice as fast, it's going to be, I guess, twice the length of tape. We got Master Tiger in the chat saying tape life. I see you, Master. Yep, it's a tape life around here. Let's have a nice little break here. Grab a drink. It's funny. I've kind of made it a point not to drink on live stream, but right now I don't care because I'm a human and I'm thirsty. We got to let the eyes know who the real eyes are, right? Does that make sense? There we go. So yeah, that's good. Nectar of the earth, baby. Grapefruit juice and water with ice. I'll try not to chew it too much for you. I know some people are ice chewers and some people just absolutely can't do it. They won't do it. Okay. What I got to do here, it's like I said in the beginning of the show, it makes a bit of a noise when I hit record for some reason. I'm not sure if it's waiting for a signal or why it's doing that, but it's got this red light right here. It says PEA. I have no idea what it stands for, and I'm not sure if anyone knows. So in the Tascam, let's zoom that out. We're all over the place today. And of course, my video mixer is working. You guys, I got this video mixer. It's been on the fritz, and it's got a lot of glitches. And I've kind of been apologizing for it. It was funny. I apologized for it on the last Ease show, and someone in the chat says, "Oh, I thought that was a desired effect, the VHS glitch." But I don't care that much about VHS glitch. I like the synthetics. I like the feedback loop synthetics. Like this stuff. This mixer doesn't do it very well. Yeah, I had a show. I only did 3 episodes of it called Feedback Friday, and we were exploring various feedback loops using CRT televisions and things like that. It's pretty cool, but it just wasn't very popular because Friday is a horrible day to do a live stream, especially in the time zone I'm at. But I have some more equipment that I want to do, so maybe I will do a Feedback Friday one of these days. Maybe I'll do it this week. I don't know. I always tease my shows. Okay, let's make some sounds. Let's make some new, fresh noise. But yeah, of course, the video mixer's working fine now. But yeah, and I'll tell you guys, I turned it on about 2 hours early today because I think at some point in time the capacitors they get recharged. It was also doing black and white for a long time. Like the first 30 shows I did, this was in black and white, and it looked really cool, especially with the 303, because when you add these colors, Anyways, I'm getting super sidetracked. Okay. So I think, I don't know, maybe we should do an oodles of noodles tape loop. We got Lilith and Eve here, and they both have recordings on them. If I can remember. Yeah, that one's Eve. I'll show you Eve, and then we'll use the Eve tape we'll send it to the Echo machine. And then the problem is I'd like to record over the erase head here and then just keep this, but maybe it'll just be an Echo tape. I don't know. You do want your erase head not covered on an Echo machine. I mean, you could sound it, but eventually it's just going to turn into absolute mush, which isn't that cool. All right. So what I'll do, I'm going to hit record on the TCM and get this rolling, and hopefully it's happy and continues to be happy. We got our handmade Oodles of Noodles tape loop in there. And then I'm going to drop the level. So that'll be coming in on this channel here. Oh, and there's the interference problem too. So I might actually have to hold this sucker. Okay. It's a lot, guys. I mean, you got to appreciate the normal Tape Tuesday routine where I just make a tank tread and we pull out a synth and do some cool stuff. But, okay, so I got this here. I'm going to be looking after it like a hawk. But it does that noise, and I want to get that noise out of the way before we start recording, because I guess it'll record. Yeah, it will record it, because we're going to feed it back into itself. All right, so let's see what we can do. Let's hear this Eve tape loop, and maybe it'll match up nicely with... Is that Eve, or that looks like a blank one? Eve... It says Eve. Maybe Eve is not the one that had sound on it. That'd be strange. Maybe it's Venus. It's too many tapes. Yeah, that's Venus, because I haven't written her name on it yet. Okay, well, geez. Yeah, okay. I thought, well, we've gone a little bit out of order there. Anyways. Seems like all the good tracks are on track 4. I could switch this over to be a different track, because I'm going to run the Echo through here and then feed it back into itself. The other one we got, well, we can also pull out, I have so many tapes. I think I told Gonzin on the last E-show, I got 400 cassette tape loops here. It might have been a bit of an exaggeration, but I think I'm kind of close to that number anyway. Yeah, I guess that's Venus. One bummer about these Oodles of Noodles tape loops is you cannot flip them and play them reversed. You have to open them up and flip the loop in the shell if you want to do that. Not feeling like that's going to be my favorite loop to use into our Echo here. So here's Lilith. This is the first one we made, and that was on the last episode of Tape Tuesday. And that's the medieval loop, which did have a log jam, so I fixed it, and it is in reverse. We can also just grab any other tape loop. Maybe we'll do a little bit of let's shop around a little bit. What do you think? All right, yeah, let's grab some other tape loops. I mean, we could. There's a lot of things we could do. I could just grab a synth, plug it into the Tascam, and feed it into the tape loop. We could do that. I think doing a tape loop to tape loop Echo is kind of cool, though. I just grabbed a handful of... we got the horn. That's the one for EZO 2. We got submarines and bubbles. These are all EZO 2 tapes. Erase heads and loops. Bubbles. These are all bubbly sounds. I can't keep track of these anymore, you guys. I have, like I said, almost 400 tape loops. So the Ease shows are going to get really, really cool because I just have so many tapes to work with. I'm not sure if these have ever been used in an Ease show or not. And I'm really losing track of my tape. Okay, we got the Oodles tape loop that we made today right here in the tape machine. We'll get around to it, I promise. Let's load up this. I have no idea what it is. It's unlabeled. It's a tank tread style. Something I made for ease. And it sounds like it's backwards, which is always cool. Maybe a bit too droney for what we're looking for. I'm kind of wanting... Maybe I should plug in a synth. What do you guys think? If anyone cares, let me know in the chat. That's sounding very, very deep and dark. That's cool. I don't know, guys. I will get an aftermath video today. This is tons of tapes everywhere. Now this is one of those weird ones that has the square jobber. I made sure not to use that for an Oodles of Noodles tape because it has a square chunk that goes in there, so it would be kind of messing with the tape. I don't know. And when you have an oodle in there, I feel like theoretically one of those things could push the tape out and it could, oh gosh, nightmarish. I haven't had any cassette tape nightmares that I can remember, but if I were to have one, it'd be something like that. I don't even know what that is. That just sounds like a gnarly splice. Let's forget that. Let's plug in a little Casio. Let's put in a baby Casio. You know the one. Or do ya? I like this. This is the SA7. I modified this to have an output jack. It's another video I need to do. Oh, the videos I need to do. Okay, let's plug this in. Let's turn it on. And I guess the Tascam doesn't even need to have a tape in it. It's kind of different. So let's plug it into track 2 here. And I guess we set that for record so we can hear it. And let's do a random patch here. Let's see. Pick a number, any number. Let's try 72. And it has a kind of a really gnarly sound there. Boom, boom. It's one thing if I could get into the chippy, to the I don't know if it has an operating system or what it is. It's I was talking to Gonzin about it. How I could get in there and turn off that sound. Oh gosh. I'm so sorry, you guys. 72 is the absolute wrong patch to do. They call that insect. Yeah, that's sucks. Bells 83. You got anyone born in 1983? This is for ya. That is very 80s. Very 80s. Okay. So, let's see. I gotta... so much going on here. Too many tapes. I made a mess. I'm gonna put the synth... I need some more room. Let's put the synth right here next to the Tascam, if I can. You hear that high-pitched noise? These little baby Casios did not come with an output jack, and I wonder if it's just because it like sounds so bad with the noise. That is a lot of hiss. Oh man, it's is it spring yet? I need to do some spring cleaning here. We got Kiara in the chat asking for any Thriller 82 channels. Patch 82, yeah. Put your put your birth year in the chat, and I'll tell you what the Casio has to say. It's kind of like Zoltar, yeah, the Casio Psychic, the Casio Psychic Angelic. You want to hear 82? Here we go. And the click noise happens again. It's kind of annoying. Sorry about that. It's a great snare, though. I might have to sample that. Ooh, that's loud. '82. You get the good old Taco Bell. It sounds like it was sampled straight off of a DX7. Maybe it was. Yeah, I think that. Well, can you do that? Could Casio take the Taco Bell preset off of a Yamaha DX7 wholesale and put it on one of their sampling keyboards without any sort of legal problems? And that has its own echo. Let's find a patch that doesn't. I guess we can go back to 83 here, unless someone else has a birth year request. We got 91. We got a request for 91. Here's 91. You are woodblock and cowbell, and it's just that. Oh, we got a couple different. It's as if the whole thing is a drum, so you would, I guess, play it like just boom. 91. Let's hear what the name is of that. 91. Conga and a go-go. A go-go. Nice one. That's free. You know who you are. Here I am. And now give me the first two Give me the first two numbers of your social security number. And next week I'll ask for the third one and the fourth one. No, don't do that. Guys, don't do that. Keep your... Birth years are, I guess, somewhat public enough. I don't know. Great one, 91. And maybe we should do... anyone else have a birth year request? Anyways, gosh. Today will be the episode of Infinite Distractions, because we have an infinite loop. We're trying to make an echo. Wow. We got typewriter. Should we hear that? That's going to be really boring, I bet. 79 is typewriter. It does pitch, though. The other one, patch 91, doesn't pitch. That's great. I love these old PCM samples. I want to find a good one, though, for this. Sitar might be good. That's 45. We got anyone in the chat room born in 1945? That's like a classic Electric Archaic sound. I love my Casios. My first synthesizer ever was a Casio MT240. Synthesizer. It's a keyboard. And you were a baby. I was a baby kid. Okay, we'll roll with that. 1945. Let's get the echo going. This is a moment of truth. I know Kiara is about ready to say in the chat, "Oh, the suspense. The suspense is killing me." Yeah, it's a lot of suspense, I guess. All right, so yeah, I'm going to turn the level of this down so it's not feeding back into itself, which it isn't. And, okay, track 2, we will feed that into the echo machine. Oh, gosh. It kind of hurts my brain, some of these things. And I will hit... You got to hit record and play at the same time. I was worried that my machine was on the fritz earlier because I didn't remember that. And hopefully we don't hear that noise at all. Tape, yeah. Let's flip it into mic line. Okay, let's get this going. We're going to record and play on the Oodles of Noodles cassette tape loop we just made. And It's going. It's going smooth. And see, there's that red light, PEA. And when that red light's on, it's going... And I think it stops on its own. Yeah, I was wondering if it needed a signal or something, but I gotta watch this. It's kind of scary running that Oodles tape. Okay, so now that that's running, I will grab. Oh gosh, I don't know if I. It's a feature, you guys, having such a dodgy VHS man in the studio. Oh, and there goes my VO mixer glitching out again. Okay, so we have the echo running. Now, on the Tascam, I'm going to level it up, and we should hear, I guess, just one little slapback. Yeah, so you hearing that? That's the one little echo slapback. So that's a tape echo on Oodles of Noodles. Okay, now the trick would be is you have to feed it back into itself, which we'll start doing. And I'll just hit one note, and I'll show you what that sounds like. I'll feed it in. Oh, getting a little crunchy. What's that all about? It's the sound degrading. Maybe the level isn't as strong as it should be. That's running away with itself, or howling around, as George Martin likes to say. Crunching out. So you got to find kind of a happy medium there. But I love real tape echo. There's a lot of VSTs out there that'll do it, but there's nothing like just the real deal. You know, there's nothing like analog stuff. It does seem to howl around a bit. Maybe I'll change the tone on the TCM here a little. Yeah, it's kind of, I'm not sure where. There's a lot of things you could tweak on this, like the input level. If I drop that down and feed more. It's so crunchy. I love it. It's going wild. Okay, let's try another patch here. Let's go for 32, whatever that is. Let's see. It's violin. Oh, great. Love me some violins. It's very, very crunchy. I'm using a super crunchy little keyboard with a crunchy, dodgy tape echo. And we get the background music going. Whoa. Sounds pretty good. And the tape is running just fine. I'm watching it right here, and it's oodling and noodling. It's kind of the effect you want. You want it to kind of die if it doesn't. You don't want it to howl around, that's for sure. Now let's see if we can harmonize with the E's here. I'm not sure. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. Now we're jamming, baby. Crunchy tape echo. turned it up a little bit just to see if we can get a longer tail on it. Yeah, see, it gets a bit much. There's like a nice Goldilocks zone there. And let me show you what it sounds like without the echo. Let's pull the echo back in. And you're kind of locked on the tempo, so I'm not sure what that is. Maybe we should... Let's grab the BPM counter out real quick and figure out maybe what that is. Because it would be nice to know generally what BPM that is. Let's see. Tapping tempo. It looks like 106 if I'm correct, but there's a lot of stuff going on. I regret the fact that I'm just not... Maybe that's why I'm such a synthesizer drum machine head. Or maybe it's the inverse, because I've spent most of my creative musical time on synths and drum machines that I didn't ever really learn how to play the piano and sing at the same time, or play the guitar and sing at the same time. I can do all of these things. It just, So I just noticed that I was trying to tap the tempo in here and tap the keys in, and my brain was just losing it. We got Dolphin in the chat saying it's like a grandfather's clock. Now, this will be cool, so I'll stop that. I've stopped the Oodles of Noodles cassette tape loop. This is something... this is one of my trade secrets I'm giving away. If you use... we can call this an echo tape, right? Are we all on the same page with that? Whatever you're running, if you're doing a homemade 3-head tape machine tape delay, like we got going on here... we call that the echo tape. Man, I'm losing my trains of thought. I've done too many shows. I need a break. No. Seriously, I might though. Anyways, the echo tape. Okay, let's eject the ejecto. Yeah, that's a tiny... Wow, I'm losing it. I apologize, guys. It's hot in here, and you know what happens. My brain goes on the fritz a little bit. Oh, I tried to put that on the ground and the wires weren't going to have it. I'm running out of room. Okay. All right, so the echo tape. I was trying to tell you one of my trade secrets, and one of the trade secrets is that if you use an echo cassette tape that's not a loop, there's one main problem with that. It will stop. So you have to be watching it if you're running a show. If you're doing a recording session, it's not so big of a deal. But if you're doing a show and you're using a cassette tape that's not a loop, like this, normal, you see how it has all the tape in there on one side. It's really nice to do that as an echo tape, because then when the tape stops... of course you can flip it and record on the other side, but it sounds amazing. And I have a couple of these around, and I play them in my shows because they're really crunchy and beautiful and echoey, and they don't loop. So they kind of have a unique thing going on, which is really great. Anyways, you can't exactly do that with an echo tape that's a loop, because you will have that gap with the erase head, and it's a small gap, but there is a gap between the erase head and the record head, and depending on the speed you're running it at, will tell you the time that it is. But let me show you. Let me just demonstrate. This was our echo tape here, and I'm going to pop that into the Tascam. Another, I guess, downside is that with these as an echo tape, track 3 and 4 won't have anything recorded on them at all. So I'll play you track 1 and 2, which will be mono. I guess I don't even need to play you 1 and 2. I can play you just track 1 here, and you'll hear... dang it! I put that in backwards, you guys. Oh, I did a classic. What people complain about, and my tape loop got eaten up. All right. Well, I hope you've had a good day here. This has been Tape Tuesday, and just kidding. We got to fix that. Yeah, that's proper eaten up tape. Okay, I think I got it. Dang it, you guys. Don't do that. Gonzin. Gonzin's probably laughing. Look at that. Ooh, that was close. I caught it, though. I did catch it. That could have been actually dangerous to my machine. It makes me... Okay. I've thought about this, too. You know, I've thought about a lot of stuff. Where's my crystal bic? I'm going to... My crystal bic pin. Where did I put that? Oh, here it is. I'm going to wind this back up here so carefully. Talk a little bit about loop tapes here. I have one. I showed it to you a little bit earlier. You were a happy tape loop, and I hope that doesn't spoil your lunch. That's Dove 01, Daughter of Venus 01. All of my names and stuff, man. You really do need to catch every single episode if you want to be on top of the banter game in the chat room. How are we doing in the chat? Okay, anyways, geez. It's time for an overhaul. I'm talking about my show. Okay, what I was thinking of doing is you can tape over this hole here on... I'll show it to you the way it needs to go into a machine, right? So it's right side up for you. If you tape over this hole, you'll basically be doing it kind of like this. Now, this is an endless tape loop, but it's different, and we'll probably try this at some point in time. I know Gonzin's been trying it out, but if you can see... Here, let me clear up the camera a little bit. If you can see the tape, there's not a lot of tape on this. This is they said it was a 10-second tape loop. And I got this from Cryptic Carousel. Check them out. The tape that comes out here is on the inside of the reel. It's kind of hard to explain, but if you imagine the reel here, all the tape is sitting on top of it, and then let's say that tape is piling up, you have that much tape, the loop is coming out of the middle of it. So it's not a Mobius loop, but it is doing, I don't even know what kind of loop you would call that, okay? And because it can only be put in the machine like that, from your perspective, if you put it in like this, I think it will just get tight on this type of tape. It will get tight and stop. On Oodles of Noodles tape, you'll see, we saw what happened. It just sucks it right out free and gets all wrapped around the rubberized capstan area, which is dangerous, right? So on this tape loop, I was pretty sure, yeah, okay. So on this side, this is the back side, there are the holes. Like this back shell would be normal because it has the holes for both sides. But when you flip it around, can you see? This is blocked. So you got where this is where the capstan goes in. And that's what really pulls the tape through. This is just the take-up reel, so that just has a little bit of tension on it so the tape doesn't get log-jammed. But the real power action is happening with the capstan, and that's what pulled out the oodle there and almost did, bad stuff. So on an Oodles of Noodles tape, I would be tempted to cover up this, whatever side, yeah, it would be this side. I would be tempted to tape this over, although I don't know what's worse. Your tape getting eaten up, which could potentially hurt your machine. Or here's another problem, and I have firsthand experience with this, and I don't ever want to experience it again. If you taped this, it wouldn't allow you to push the tape into the machine, but you then run the risk of there's a little C-clamp that goes onto the capstan, and it's just... And I've had this has happened to me twice in my life, and is one of the most horrible things ever, where you push the tape in, and if you're not careful, you can push the capstan and it'll pop that or snap that C-clamp, and the capstan will just be gone. And there's sometimes some spring for it, but as you start rolling the tape, there's nothing to hold the capstan in place, so it just falls out, and then it'll eat your tape off, because then you just have a rubber roller and it's a mess. So I'm not sure what the best thing to do about that is. I'm really tempted to say that it's better to have your tape be eaten up than to break or lose your little C-clamp on the capstan, because good luck finding a little C-clamp that will fit your particular tape machine's capstan. That happened to one of my Tascams, and I got out the microscope and the light, and I looked all over the studio floor, and I did find the C-clamp, and it wasn't broken. So, and I can't remember which Tascam that was, but it was one of these. So it's always been kind of a nightmare situation. So don't do it, my friends, don't do it. And that's also why we didn't hear any sound, because I had it backwards. Lessons in tape mistakes and stuff like that. Okay. So yeah, I don't know what the best way is, but sometimes, well, for me at least, it only takes me like one or two times to make a mistake before I kind of integrate it or put it on the flight list. But you can also get comfortable and forget about your rules, which usually happens later on. Anyways, let's hear that little echo that we made. And okay, we are in the right way, and I can't hear anything, which is strange. Maybe did it record on... It shouldn't be on these tracks. Why aren't we hearing anything? That's very strange. What? We should be hearing a lot of that cool echo. We're not. Oh, it's in there. It's just very low, I guess. And that would be the gap. Oh, maybe I wasn't playing. That could be the case. Okay, here we are. This is just the echo tape. It's not the coolest echo tape out there. Maybe I could try to, well, I don't know where they are. I have way too many tapes around. But yeah, there you go. There's Tape Tuesday 24, and we really went, I try to keep it interesting. I try to go deep into something we haven't done before. I think we definitely did that today. Kind of broke out all the stops as far as tape echoes and oodles of noodles are concerned, and now I have a happy oodles of noodles tape loop. Yeah. You might... yeah. Whew. That was a lot. That was a lot of fun. So give me a like and subscribe if you've stuck around and had a good time here today. We got Richard in the chat. So many machines. Richard, how you doing? Richard's saying the phrase "capstan just gone" makes me shudder. Yeah. I was trying to think if that was a dirty joke or not, but I think it's just an actual real shudder-worthy thing when the capstan of a tape machine goes. The capstan is the captain. El Capistan. Right on, my friends. Right on, my friends. If anyone has any questions or, if anyone wants a link to the community Discord, let me know in the chat right now. I'll post you a link. Otherwise, for the most part, you all are the usual suspects. And you already have a link. And I will catch you in the after party there, my friends. Thanks for joining me on Tape Tuesday, everyone. I love you all, and I love this planet. And I absolutely know that you love this planet too. Love your mother and your father. That's cute. We got Claire in the chat saying, take a break if you need one, EA. What, do you think I'm going to go for another 2 hours? No, it's been 3 hours. It's been almost 3 hours. That's a long show. Woo! Peace and love, everybody. We got Master Tiger in the chat saying, peace and love, everybody, with a question mark. And then he swiftly put an exclamation. It's not a question. It's a fact. We're going for peace and love for the happy galaxy. Oh, boy. Let's do a run through. We got Hen. Hen in the chat, of course. I love you all. Let's see. There's this handy-dandy thing called Top Fans. We got Kiara in the chat. We got Master Tiger in the chat. We got Hen in the chat. We got Gonzin in the chat. We got Claire in the chat. We got Dolphin in the chat. We got Richard. So many machines, Richard in the chat, of course. We got Audio Freaker in the chat, and we got Kenneth in the chat. Thank you all, my chat family. I love you guys once again, and I love the planet. Love your mother and your father, but the father's the son, right? I got to come up with a line for the son. We got to include the masculine with the feminine, and together, world's kaleidoscope, and life begins, and everything turns to light in the happy galaxy of amazingness and love. Okay, guys, catch me on the next show. I think I'm going to do another Ease show. That's a lot of fun. I think it maybe makes next Tuesday, same time, Ease 07. Let's do it. I'll schedule that. Once again, like and subscribe if you haven't already. Share it with your friends. Let them know. Let them know about the happy galaxy coming to a planet near you. Okay, guys. We'll see ya. Peace and love, everybody. Let's all have a good week, and I'll see you on the next show.